Hello. Well, today for our monthly update video, we're going to go to Starbuck, Minnesota and visit our Starbuck warehouse. We'll go see how Randy and the crew are doing. We're here in lunchtime, so hopefully we can catch everybody. Hey, Randy, are you home?
I am.
Good to see you, yeah. Well, Taylor and I found our way over here. It's a beautiful sunny day after yesterday's snowstorm.
I know.
What we were trying to do on the way over is I was trying to give Taylor a little history about, since 1981, what's happening with our warehousing, the cycles and everything, and which brought us to what we're going to try to do here with our update. So back in the beginning in 1981, there were just a few salespeople. We had one driver and one truck, Bob Quedick, and he ran 5 different routes during the week and delivered mostly computer paper, but also custom stuff that we brought in. And we really didn't have a warehouse. We were in the back of that glacial printing space. We could put in about 200 to 300 boxes tops. And so every Friday night, the Dittmer driver, and Dittmer's another story, there was a trucking company called Dittmer Transit out of Fargo that Dusty knew, Dusty Dupree. And he worked out a deal where we owned the paint job. So we painted his trailers, American business forms with our red, white, and blue on our flag. We had 3 trailers, I believe, at that time. Dittmer owned the tractors and the trailers. We just owned the paint job. But that paint job would go all over the country, and people would say, "Oh, we saw your trucks," you know. So that was a very, in our humble beginnings, we had a fleet, right? But anyhow, he'd calls at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'd get a hold of Bobby, and with 3 of us, we'd unload those 1 box at a time, wheel them in the back of Glacial, stack them up, and then all the next week, Bobby would unpack them, load up the van, and take them out. But then from there, we moved to another building down by the lake, and we moved up to a clay pigeon plant on the hill, which is about 15,000 square feet. Then we moved down to an old grocery store on Main Street, and we had pick and pack. And we started doing a lot of pick and pack and also our warehousing. And then we moved over here to this facility, and we gradually grew. And so we found we could be in the Midwest, and we could ship 2-3 days and be all over. And so our volume grew here as we did a lot of forms management, pick and pack programs. So we did the expansion and went up to 45,000 square feet. And we did a little slide where everybody wanted to have it local. And so it moved out, and about half the space was empty for a few years. And now we're on a resurgence again. I think that a lot of people have found in the programs that you're hooked into apps, you're hooked into ACES, it's all real time, and it's our people. And so we're a little bit more flexible than a public warehouse or something remote. Although we do have some big bullpens or big sales hubs that have their own warehouses that are operating just kind of like we are. Kind of brings us back to what we're doing here. And now you've done a really great job in putting together a great team. And, you know, the complexion and makeup of the warehouse is changing. We used to have a ton of old files when we did everything in paper. And now with M-Files and electronic, that's changing and giving your space back, which was our original vision 15 years ago. Finally made it happen a couple years ago. But as other sales associates around the country have found, that with a national footprint or national program, Ben & Jerry's, whatever, you can distribute from Minnesota, be every place in 2-3 days, and you're fully integrated and connected. So that's kind of the thing that Taylor and I wanted to try to discuss and have you do a show and tell.
Yes, we have got currently we have a little over 40 sales reps in the warehouse from all over the country. We have the East Coast, West Coast, South, and like you said, we can ship pretty much anywhere in 2 to 4 days. We ship a lot of LTL. We probably have somewhere between, on any given month, somewhere between 8 and 15 pallets going out a week. And then, of course, on average, right now, we're averaging somewhere between, I would say, 2.5 to 6 pallets a day for UPS and FedEx combined. So, yeah, the business is booming. And we do some kitting projects, and we do some other things besides the warehouse, besides just warehousing, as we walk through, we'll kind of show you. So,
cool. Well, let's go take a look.
Let's take a walk.
We have several different departments over here in the Starbuck warehouse. We have this section here belongs to, we just left, that belongs to our warehousing office. Out here we have the mailroom, which a lot of you have already received weekly mailings that come from vendors and different suppliers that we send out to. Then we have Shelly Grimsley over here. She is our freight logistics person, handles all our UPS and FedEx and all the other issues that we have. And back here is for our mailroom gals. They're in the back right now with the records. And over here is kind of a small kitting area. And we have currently about 10 to 12 CSRs over here that they work on this half of the building too. And then we have our records department, which was Larry mentioned earlier, is all going over to M-Files now, so I will be leaving here shortly. And this is our pick and pack area for most of our shipping via FedEx on this side, UPS on this side. We can ship postal too back there. Over here we have Tony Halls. He's one of our pick and packers. And this over here is our receiving area where we receive everything in, send it out LTL. Currently we have some in the back too, but currently it's the only one we're using. Pretty busy. And then we'll work our way back towards the back of the warehouse. The nice thing about this warehouse is we're all American reps. We understand apps very well. We understand the ACES programs very well, so we're very in tune with what the sales reps need. This is our secure area right here. We have all of our, we have some office supplies. We can do some kitting back here. We can do Jeff Birch, Cardinal Glass back here. We do a lot of stuff for him, different kits. And over here we have what used to be our records, which is now going to be replaced with a lot of new racking. So a lot of our programs in the back, as we continue to grow, we'll put these up in the racks, and then we will put all new racking in here and bring in some of the programs from the back.
Yeah, in the first building, or existing building, this was the back wall.
Yes, this was the old part of the building, and then the new part was built, I believe, in 1998, which added another about 25. So we're sitting right now at about 48,000 square feet. Back in here is mostly the Ben & Jerry's, what we call our north wing. This is all full of almost all Ben & Jerry's at the time. Got our own little packing table back here because a lot of times it's going to take, in the heavy months, they'll be up in the 6-7 pallet area per week that we're shipping out. So it takes up quite a bit of space, and we got to stage it back here for shipping. And usually once a week I get a large order from the home office to ship out. And then we'll walk towards what we call it the west wing now. We got a couple more larger programs coming in. PGC is one of the new programs that's just coming in. Just getting ready to fire up here in May. A lot of orders over a short amount of time. So eventually you'll see as we move back is where the records is going to kind of be setting up in here and moving, kind of coming this way. All this will be going up into the records area. So this area will be records or more programs coming in.
Cool. Now we got a couple of new programs coming in that are going to be pretty big. You still have some wiggle room or space?
We have a little bit. We're getting to that point where with the new program coming in, the newest one, which isn't here yet, is going to be taking up quite a bit of space. Space to be determined yet. I don't know exactly how much it'll take, but we have room. The big container over there is a big, what they call a Cubiscan, which is going to be coming in for UPS. UPS is always kind of changing the rules as they go along, so we got to kind of adapt to them as it rotates. We do have a van. We do some local deliveries still for the copy paper, like Larry mentioned earlier. We still probably deliver. Right now, we're delivering about 15 to 18 deliveries a month. So. And then of course there's always the local sales rep, or somebody might need help with something that we'll assist them.
How about the new UPS system, because that is helping control and get the right cost, because UPS has got all this odd calculations on size.
Correct. And you'll know that UPS has become very dimensional weighted, they call it. They don't really necessarily concerned about the weight as much as they are dimensions of a box. So when a box comes through, you're going to take the length times the width times the height, and then they're going to divide it by whatever your negotiated rate is. And our current one, whether it's 144 or 139, but that's going to give you your weight. So this thing, when this new machine, when it comes through, it's automatically going to get the dimensions of the box, and I'll tell the machine, hey, it weighs, according to the dimensions, this should weigh 30 pounds, and you're going to get charged for 30 pounds. Even though it may weigh less, of course, it does weigh more. If it's a more condensed, you're still going to pay the higher weight price. But a lot of the boxes that we ship out, because of the stuffing or it's a fragile material, you may have a box that's so big but doesn't weigh a lot. Well, UPS says, no, it's going to weigh this much, and that's what you're going to pay. So it's going to cut down on a lot of those additional expenses that come in after you've already shipped it out. We've gotten our UPS, download, and they're saying, oh no, there's additional weights for this or different additional charges. So it'll cut down on a lot of those. So hopefully with this new scale, it'll eliminate a lot of our issues.
Well, I think that they also had some credits or IT credits or whatever we
Correct.
could use on getting it. And some of our remote offices or bullpens that are a little bit bigger are taking advantage of that and also looking at the same equipment.
Correct. And I think it's a wonderful option if you can use it. Like I said, I'm interested to see how it's going to work and how efficient it is. With this new program come back here, it's going to be pretty busy, so we're hoping that it'll really speed up the speed at which we can send things out the door. Yeah. So, and that's the whole, in this world, if you can cut down your travel time, you can cut down the speed and the processing, it makes life a lot easier in warehousing. So.
Now tell me, how long have you been with American?
I've been here almost 15 years. So I went from in the military for about 21 and a half to American. So this is really only my second real job.
Cool. Well, you're like Gary Scordo, very short resume.
Yeah, that's very, very short. So I've been with American, I've enjoyed it, I've liked it. So I've been here, and it's been wonderful for me. So it's been.
Right, and your wife works for American.
And my wife also works for American. I got a cousin that works for American. So we're in this. We're all in this thing together, as a great man once told me.
Yeah, exactly. So we appreciate your time and effort, and so we're trying to enlighten the rest of the American family about what we have back here in our little Mayberry. So once again, we thank you for being with us. Taylor is doing podcasts, and so the podcasts are being saved out there, so you can always go back and look at them. She's also going to be saving our monthly videos as we trip around Glenwood and in different departments and buildings and trying to give you little updates. And we've got a really fun one next month, and we talk about one of our shows, one of our customer prospect vendor shows, which will be in Minneapolis in April, and a special treat in May. So you'll have to wait and see what the May one is, because we're going to surprise you with another trick, and it has to do with gophers. And it's not the Minnesota Gophers. It's a different gopher. It's a pocket gopher and a striped gopher. So again, thank you. We had a great month this month. Of course, it's a little longer than February, so we got a few more days, which always helps in billing. Keep up the great work. Keep up the collections and billing, because you only got a few months left to collect to make the end of the year, which is June 30th. As always, thank you for being a part of the American family, and have a great week.